quite an eventful week, a week where we've seen a lot of things happening in this republic. We've seen the teachers are just about to go on strike. The JSS, not JCC. JCC is a church. JSS teachers as well. And the most important thing is that it seems that our leadership is still asleep. And they are not going to wake up very soon. And the governor of Meru found herself in a very difficult position. Again. I don't know what's wrong with our county. But it's the biggest show, it's the biggest conversation with the biggest hosts.
Exactly.
I'm your host, Charles Otino, alongside
Wanja Maina. Happy to be here.
And I'm Maria Nyampane Waweru. I'm so glad to be here. But I feel sorry for Meru.
Really?
Yeah.
You feel sorry for them?
Though I feel like the men have issues in that county.
Yeah, sometimes men need to kick out the women leadership sometimes. And I'm Simon says, yes, I'm the content creator. I make content that makes you smile and think. But most importantly, I'm going to keep it real with you. That's my promise. Right here on Let's Be Real. CEO,
Yes.
Let's get started from the top. What's
why
going
are you
on?
saying men should kick women out of leadership?
No, some of them. They should, why not? And even the women representative seat should actually become a consideration whether it's actually necessary.
Why?
Ooh.
Yes, on a serious note, because now...
You're very violent now.
Yes, on a serious note. Like, we need to have over-representation is too much. Well, what has the women representative seat done for you? Exactly, cricket.
No, I'm not. I was thinking, Simon.
You have to think.
Wanja is shocked.
Of course, I am shocked.
You are shocked, but let me tell you something, and I'm a woman, and I'll tell you this. Also, after the finance bill, I kind of felt like women let us down. I'm sorry. That's how I felt.
But
What
for
do
me,
you mean women
I'm
let you
struggling
down?
with the double standards.
Yeah.
Anyone
Like
who would-
all the people who let us down are all the MPs who said no or who said yes.
Yes.
But whether
Whether
would
they
a
are-
woman say yes?
Whether they are
to
men
that?
or women, I think the double standard is coming where you're saying the women. There are women who said no. For
Yes,
example,
those who said-
Gadhoni wa Mushomba said hapana. Gasheri, the women rep of Kirinyaga, said
Said
hapana,
yes.
amongst others. So for me, I
So
have a problem
those who
with
said
that.
yes were wrong. They were not supposed.
Those who
There
said
were
yes.
supposed to be 0 women there.
Those who said yes, both men and women, went
Are wrong.
against Wananchi.
Men, they don't understand our problems as much as you as a woman, you know very well this is your
Can we keep
problem,
quiet?
and you're there saying yes. You see, that's my problem. My problem is the women who said yes were supposed to be 0 because they have those problems. Men do not understand our problems, by the way.
But
So
that's
they
a
would.
very-
What do you mean
That's
men
a
don't
big
understand their
statement.
problem?
There are
Men
men
don't
who
try.
understand our problems.
Let me tell you something.
For example,
For
there
me-
was
for me,
Keno called.
immediately that they saw these diapers and sanitary towels, there should be 0 women in that, yes. That's what I know. Sanitary towels and diapers, there should be 0 women because we are the ones who know the level at which those things are necessary.
Are you
We
trying
feel
to say
them.
that Simon there does not understand what's
Simon, do you know anything about diapers?
I don't think about pads.
Good, that's the
I don't even
point.
put,
You see?
I don't know about pads. Seriously, I know a couple of things.
You know, one of
Diapers,
the
yes, how expensive they are. That's why I don't have any kids. CEO, what is this accountability story that you have in the past?
Let me
before you get lost?
start. You know, the violence here is just crazy, man. Well, I think this week you've seen there's a gentleman known as Kebaso Morara, a young man who's been doing wonderful things, going over the projects in the country, which were launched, relaunched, commissioned, recommissioned, decommissioned. And my question has always been, are Kenyans that stupid not to be calling out the leadership whenever they are being taken for a ride? Because every single time a road has been launched 4 times, a bridge has been launched 2 times. The other one, I don't know, the railway station which was here in Kajiado, that one, even the rails have disappeared, but the plaque is there. Are Kenyans crazy, Wanja?
Kenyans, you know, well, I would say that maybe wakizindua, unajua wanapenda kuzindua, kutenga. Pengine wanakujanga hii side ya barabara ile kijiji fulani. Alafu next time wanaenda the other kijiji. But really back to Morara Kebaso, whom I am now his biggest follower on the social media. I remember a quote by one philosopher who said that art should comfort the disturbed and disturb the comfortable. What that young man is doing is use of art, use of satire, use of videos and creativity to actually do the work that should be done by EACC, the work that should be done by all people who are paid to be accountable, Auditor General. He's doing a job that is done by over 1,000 government employees. I think he's doing the Lord's work, really. He's actually demonstrated, kwanza akona evidence. Anasimama hapa anasema, this is Ole Kejuado University. In fact, in Kajiado there should be a university. Na anasimama kwa hiyo billboard na anasema these are the billions that were allocated. Lakini as yuko somewhere, so where did they go? For me, I really love what he's doing. He's disturbing the comfortable. They are now even, I saw the State House, Hussein, the State House person, akimrespondia. Then I'm like, don't attack the person of Morara Kebaso. Talk about what he's saying. Akisema mlizindua na mjajenga, go and stand and show us the tarmac. Inaitwa aura for aura. Yeah. Jibu evidence for evidence. I appreciate him. I appreciate his creativity. He should keep up. Sure.
It's like we are treated like we are blind. Most of the time it's like like I'll say, for example, in Embu, we've seen a certain road being launched thrice in the same time, and we wonder why do you still keep coming here? I feel like this is like, I want to be on top of a car to campaign, but now I don't need to shout that I'm campaigning. Just see me coming to do something, when in real sense they're not doing anything at all. Politics has always been this game that we have to show off something. But now I feel like Kenyans should stop being treated like they are blind. You saw, it started. Some projects did not even, sometimes they even go and launch holes with potholes. This is the time you're coming to launch. We need repairs, not potholes. Actually, right now, our infrastructure is going down. Can we see corrections? Because there is allocation of budgets, and they are not doing the corrections. Now, what are they doing? They are here launching the same thing. It's more of a campaign. We are on top of cars, but you're not coming to tell you to vote for us. You're going to show you our work, just hoping that Kenyans will not be blind.
I am even going to use Swahili in this.
Shock.
I'm even going to use Swahili in this.
Anguka nayo.
I think almost. One thing is this. We're going from the stage of wacha wafanye kazi. That's the stage of the old generation of we have now given you the mandate to go out and actually do the work. And when you say wacha wafanye kazi, it means primarily is upon them to now see the timing in which they will execute the work that they want, that they have been mandated to do. We're now in the stage where fanya kazi. You are now mandated to execute, and we're going to hold you accountable down to the T. You are supposed to do this. You have not done it, so you are now accountable to us. When you just say, especially when you hear even the old generation, wacha wafanya kazi, no, that means that we are absconding ourselves the responsibility of recognizing that indeed you have an obligation to me to actually do the work. Not just wacha wafanya kazi. Now it's fanya kazi. You must do the work that is mandated to you, because not only that will recognize that indeed you are stealing our resources. And I love even the fact that it goes down to the county level. He sees that stadium in Weto, I can't remember the places. Water, sorry, thank you. And sees that indeed that this work that was actually launched, you know, we love launching as if it's a big grand marriage. Execution, what we want. We don't want to see a bunch of launching and relaunching of things. We want to see execution of services. Isn't that right, CEO?
Yeah, I think I've had this problem with the government for a very long time. It's not a problem for the current regime only. It is something which has been sustained over the years. It is only that the current regime which has perfected it into a matter of all other presidencies. But we've seen in the past that Kenyans have been taken for fools for such a long time that someone wakes up in the morning and tells you, I have set aside a certain amount of money to build this classroom. And when you look at what is built, it is a cow pen. But the amount of money spent is double or triple the amount, because people, what we can see is that Kenyans are actually, the leadership is budgeting for corruption. There's nothing else we are doing. It's just budgeting for corruption. You're saying we want to establish a university in Elkojiwa. You have not set the works. So there's zero accountability. Then you release the money. Then you do fanfare and red carpet and all that. And then the money for commissioning the project is released and the project stalls. Then if you go to Ukambani, where there's this Twake Dam, they commission that dam, then someone brings his workforce and output to the station, and then the government delays so that this guy can be paid some money for being on the site without working. So it is just, my biggest problem with this regime is that they do not understand what Kenyans really need. They understand that they want to make money, and you budget for this money as leadership or as people who are connected with the same government to pocket the money, rather than taking that money to benefit the citizens. But the citizens have a duty too. Why do they agree to clap and shout and appear every day? You know this road has been commissioned or launched. Why don't you say, but this thing, or make noise? We are in the age of citizen media, where you can sit and say, you don't need only Kebaz Morara to say this. We have very many people who are in these areas, in these villages, who are technologically advanced equipment, and they can tell us, this is the project, this is where it has reached. You can say this was commissioned in January. You said we'll start in May. There's nothing which has started. As a community, people should take responsibility of those projects and say, if you come and launch and you do not do anything, if you're in Murang'a where they've launched that road for four times, tell the public that, hey, bana, this thing was launched by Uhuru Kenyatta. William Ruto came and checked it. Uhuru came again, and William has come again. It is nonsensical, to say the least, for a man or a woman to be launching roads or things which they are sure they will not make anything to completion.
And CEO, if I could just add something. Unaona, the obsession of politicians who are budget holders to attach the project to themselves. Unakuta kichwa yake kubwa, ameweka hivi, this project, he's a patron. Nonsense. So when the next MP comes, badala ya kuendelea na hiyo, because at the end of the day tunajenga class ya watoto, anajenga yake, because he want to be associated with. Nowadays you've seen all politicians are naming primary schools after themselves for achieving really nothing. So it's that obsession of politicians owning projects instead of appreciating that they are taxpayers. They're actually budget holders of the larger taxpayers' money. It's actually unfortunate. Yeah?
That is key, and that's very important. But speaking of even support, see, the way the government is not supporting us, but the way some people are supporting each other in relationships. Isn't that right, Manja?
Well, I'm telling you, Olympics. Kulikuwa na the main Olympics from Faith, karibu akwe elbowed out by that Ethiopian athlete.
Where?
To love. Yeah, by the way, that one tulimsalimia actually. Majenzi walitupea namba yake tukamsalimia. I'm happy how management ya Olympics walicheza kama wao, and she actually won. Now, there were also people with supportive spouses. So there's a lady called Tara. She does inaitwaje ile ya kujump, ile long jump. And then there was her spouse called Hunter, who, by the way, is a Paralympian. So when Tara was, remember the Paralympics have not even started. So the spouse came to Paris, or is it Paris? Akam support. And when Tara won, the first thing she did was just to run to the spouse Hunter, a long embrace, and it has become an internet sensation. So some people are saying, do you run to your spouse when things go right or wrong? ama tu uko tu?
What's wrong with you, Simon?
I'm asking you.
Why me?
Why not?
No, how long have they been together? I mean, that's the question I asked.
They have been together, I believe, from 2017, where they started dating, and then they got married around 2021.
Yeah, it's still new, honeymoon stage. We are running to each other.
Do you now? That's the question she just asked you. Now, do you actually, the support that she got, do you receive it in your own relationship? Continue.
Hey, hot seat. I believe CEO is married. CEO.
You want me to start?
Let me be honest with you. Okay. First of all, Africans do things differently. I'm not saying that running is okay. For me, I don't think I would run. I wouldn't. I know he would not run. People from the mountain, we know. He would not run, but the support is there. It doesn't need to be in running or in showing, but even the words of congratulations and being nice and at least noticing my achievements, that's a good thing. You don't need to just make it a big deal. People do it differently, and I appreciate the fact that I have learned to enjoy my own life the way it comes. Like, understand you as a person, understand me as a person, and knowing that this we can get to, this one we can't get to. But the problem with now is the expectations of people that people will attach to that will be an issue in most relationships. Because you see, for someone like me, I've been married for 6 years. So right now, I can't attach an expectation to anything. It's more like, this is who you showed me you are. I either take or leave. That is me right now. But now, someone else who is starting will be like, I'm attaching this situation to my relationship. And if I do something small, you're supposed to come. Like, I work with my husband. There's an argument that is involved in work. But where do we draw the line? Like, okay, now, let's draw the line whereby I'm your wife first, then on the other side, we are working together, and we disagree sometimes. But this disagreement does not move to this side of our lives. You see? So it's more of an agreement. But for these two who ran to each other, it's romantic, it's sweet. But for me, I don't think I'll ever get it. And I've accepted that. You know,
this whole support stuff, it's all nice and fluffy. It is. It's all nice and fluffy, warms the heart. And even I won't even personalize it. Something even I like even executing in my own even personal relationships is, as a man, be your wife's #1 biggest fan, or even your girlfriend's. Do you know what I mean? In the sense that I take pride in your success. Not even that, it's not to celebrate you when you wins, it's to actually help you when you're going through your worst. In the case of any relationship, it's not necessarily a matter of being there for you when now you're celebrating your wins. You're there to celebrate with your heart of hearts, because you know the way it was in the darkest of times. And the reason why this is soft and fluffy and making ladies feel happy is because this is not something common that ladies do to men. And here's what I mean by this. When it comes to very dark times, a lady may switch up and say, why are you angry? Why are you feeling such a way? And why are you not letting me in? Seeking to understand is something that many ladies may not even do. That's why they may feel like, this is something that I know very well I cannot do to my man, so I really appreciate it when a man does it to a lady. And that's why even it's glorified. Because when a lady supports a man in public, do you know how it's viewed in this modern society?
No.
That lady is oppressed. Why the heck is that lady supporting that man so adamantly? What is that man making coercing that lady to do that? That, in essence, the lady should not innately support the man. It seems like it's a rarity. But when a man supports, it's praised because he knows that, because he's raising the woman up. But when the man is raised up, it seems like the woman is the woman is actually even viewed as oppressed. And hence, do you know what happens? Ladies don't want to duplicate that behavior because they don't want to be seen as an oppressed individual through the whole band of, like, quote unquote women empowerment. So one thing I would even tell you is, ladies, ignore social media and all that other BS. For when it comes to your relationship, you have to make sure that indeed You are each other's biggest fans to the core. And remember, you're not fighting each other. You're fighting life in this economy. You want to fight each other. You guys will both die. Aye, the relationship will just be gone. Isn't that right, CEO?
Yeah. If we were in a meeting, I would have said, Simon, power, power. Simon, visa.
Sometimes people expect big things. Like, you know, you expect, if it's support, you expect big things. I'm an author. Lipa tokens niandike. That's already big support. You don't need a huge support. You just need the simplest of things for someone to show that they care. It doesn't need to be big, public, showcased and all that, or you have to go all out, spend so much for me to feel like you appreciate me. No, the simplest. Yeah.
You see, what is very interesting is that I think the lady just rose to occasion because it was Olympics. But behind the scenes, I can tell you that man was probably asked, why didn't you hug me the right way I wanted you to be hugged?
Okay, serious.
I'm telling you. That's where they draw the line.
See,
No.
that line is red, Amando, iko blue.
No,
Red
that's
line.
where they draw the line.
No, but it could be genuine.
Yeah.
Let's say it could be genuine.
Or why didn't you hold me the way I was?
Yeah, exactly.
You see, we could see it from outside, and we could see it romantic, it is sweet, it is fluffy. But I can tell you that man, when they went home,
I surely.
probably,
Look at this, let me just say something.
probably,
Oh, really, for me, it was very organic first and foremost.
yes.
I wouldn't say that, you know, there are those things that are like stage managed or what. It was very, very
The
organic.
guy
And
was really excited.
yeah, and then also I just went through their Twitter, their TikTok, where they have individual accounts and then they have their family account. Turns out they met in high school and they are both athletes. In fact, the girl, Tara, got a sports scholarship to do her undergraduate. But anyway, now that we are here, the truth of the matter is that there are people who are married to people who hate them. If you want to know that that is true, look at how people hide money. Look at how people put money in mattresses. Look at how people hide achievements. In fact, once upon a time where when I was in a particular school, there's a girl who was coming to evening classes, but she was not telling her spouse. So there are days she'd miss because the spouse came home early, and there are days she'd say she has come to see me or to see another friend, and there are days where she'd say maybe traffic ilikuwa mingi or what, and sometimes she had to leave her classes early. Then I remember she became a friend, and then I asked her, what is this all about? She told me if my husband would know that I'm doing my master's. And I remember, I already mentioned, I'm already doing my education. He would be he would sabotage the process, he'd harass me until I won't be able to do it. And then now that we're in the age of bad girl, Millie Odhiambo has told us, be a bad girl, be bad. That's how you get the corner office. As we read the book for the bad girl, there's another book called Lean In, where they say that the most important decision you'll ever make in life is who you marry. From there on, it will depend on how your things will move. So there could be a relationship between the girl marrying right and her progress in the athletic world now and in the future. So for me, I enjoyed the moment. I felt so happy for them. And I said, I really wish Simon will meet such a girl who will support her.
But
her
that
career.
you see,
Let's hear CEO.
you know, it is always the only, and that is very common with women, by the way. Women are the ones who hide these things from men. It is not the other way around. Because a man's money is a family money. Let's start from there. The man's money is family money. Simon, when you get married, your money will do everything. You buy land, you buy what. But the woman's money is her money. Now, and that's why you've had women who, there's a guy who the other day discovered the wife was processing a visa and has gone to States, and they're living together. And that's why your friend could do that. I can assure you, if you sat with the couple down, you'll find that there was a breakdown, and it is not probably from the man. Because the man, when you're getting married, you are sure of the level of a woman you want to marry. One of the things you're not going to do, and I tell men, do not marry a woman to take to school. Kwani wewe ni babake? Kwani wewe ni babake?
No.
You support mpoa wako.
Hakuna. If you marry a woman akuje kama amejisomea.
Na kama hajasoma utampenda.
To where? So you are coming to get married or to go to school?
To get married and go to school.
You get married. This is what happens. You get married, then now you're empowered. You feel like I can do something. My kids are growing up. I can't stay in the house 24 hours. I need to do something. Because for me, the toxic part becomes, and that's, and can I tell you now, here is where, if you tell her to take herself, utaibiwa ushangae.
No.
This is the point. My point
Utaibiwa aje?
No.
This is my point. Let me tell you something. If I have to go to an extent of hiding something from you, I will leave you first. If I have to go to an extent that I'm studying at night, I'm hiding that I'm hiding my hobbies, my life, what I love to do. I'm starting a business, you don't need to know. I'm going to school, you don't need to know. I have hobbies, like I'm into fitness, I'm starting a gym, or I go to the gym. If I'm going to hide anything from you, I will start by leaving you first. Because it's too much work.
Relationship is...
It's too much work to not be myself, and then I'm claiming that I love you and I'm around you.
And you're sleeping
you're
together.
Too much work.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
I'll hide in the meantime before I leave you. Eh?
No, I'm leaving you first. I just need transparency in my life. I'm not gonna, because I'm fooling myself. No, I leave you first. It's either you're on board with what I love doing, because when we got married, there are things that I know you wouldn't like. See, in any office, mchawi. It's education. So,
I'm going to go to this mchawi level. Let's go on a break real quickly.
It has been interesting here, I'm telling you. Maria just brought a line at Inabesi Uchawi. I just remembered, it's like a political scene. Ni maombi hapa. Welcome guys back. I think it has been interesting. The first part of this conversation has been heated. Simon with his staff, Maria, and of course Wanja. Lakini where we draw the line is that you come fully educated. That's where we draw the line.
Maria, is that true? Go ahead.
Yeah, you come fully educated, right?
Yes.
Good. Now let's talk about bride price. Come fully educated. Where?
Come fully educated.
Where? So now there's a family in Kiambu. Hey, Kiambu. Okay, my God, Kiambu.
Our people.
Yes, your people. There's confusion on who should get the dowry. Is it the mother? Is it the father? Is it the bride? Is it the family? You know, actually people have easier. Kisses, you'll see the entire clan that raised you that you don't know of. So they were arguing who will get the bride price until the daughter disappointed them. Yes. Let me tell you something. You know, when it comes to this bride price thing, that is something that is, okay, I don't know, I should go to, Waindi wako sawa. Wanja, can you first start telling us that, what do you think about
So
that?
daughter alisema bride price igawanishwe ama alisema ipewe yeye?
No, bride price ni wazazi. Lakini now there are people who wanted it. There is the father, there is the mother, there is the bride herself, there is the clan, the people around. A lot of people, like, it's like...
They want a stake.
Yes.
Oh, they want a stake.
Yes, they want a stake.
Well, for me, I would say that first and foremost in that story, it's an intercultural marriage, because the spouse was a Mzungu, if I remember the facts of the matter, right? And already, I think some of these debates, when there's an introduction of a foreign aspect of the debate, like people from different cultures and way of life, it sort of takes away the normal way of how things are done. Because I'm imagining if she's from Kiambu, I'm assuming that the girl is a Kikuyu.
Yeah.
The Kikuyus have a very elaborate form of dowry and bride price. In fact, it is a lifetime process, and it is a civil debt. Civil debt to mean that no one will tie your neck to force you to pay, but you do it out of maintaining good relationships, friendships, and familial ties. Then again, we are in a modern world, because if it was a normal Kikuyu ceremony, wangeanza kujua kwa kina kijana, anaishi ile village next, tujue kwa wanakuwa na maugonjwa, ndio tujue venye maisha yetu itaenda. For me, I would say that when we are meeting people from new cultures or other tribes, it's not enough to say that Maria is beautiful. It's not enough to say that Simon is handsome. It's important to have very serious conversations around culture and way of life. Because you know what is about to happen next? Kikuyus have a very definite way of naming children. If I'm married to a Kikuyu, the first daughter is named after the mother of that man. The first son is named after the father of that son. It has been done like that. It's not up for debate. That's how it's done. But then I'm imagining now kuna mtu mwingine. So now ordinarily if it was a normal marriage, those issues would not have arisen. Dowries have a formality. But now because there's a person from another tribe, that's when those dynamics zinaingia. Culture. I'm sorry to say, but Africans wanaona mzungu wanaona tu pesa, so hata kuna element ya kumdistort. Mbuzi, because girls in Kikuyu culture wanabayangwa na mbuzi, because now we don't have mbuzi in the traditional way, mbuzi huwa zina quantifyiwa na pesa. Tuseme mbuzi moja inauzwa 5k in the depending na vile watu wata agree. Lakini wakiona mzungu, mbuzi moja inauzwa 50k. So for me, I also see how mzungus have always said, hata wakienda kubai kitu, wakipanda matatu, bei na multiply. So I could also tell an element of extortion na cultural clash already.
I see what you're saying. Here's my interesting look at dowry and the way it should be implemented now. What's the essence of dowry? The core essence is the basic thing is to now building a relationship between this family and this family through now the bridging of these constant payments that are being made as written up as dowry. Bridging over relationships between families. Cool. Now the main thing when it comes to that aspect, you have to recognize that indeed there's a new couple that has just been planted right here. All right? This new couple is literally the embodiment of the two families coming together. One thing I've even seen as a very smart and a very good progressive way, even as we add on new things to our culture, is when dowry is brought, that first payment that's agreed upon should solely go to the couple themselves for them to actually begin their lives. The following payments will ensure that the couple comes back to the family to actually pay them a visit, to make sure that they are alive and well, and to build the friendship. The sole essence is to do what? Build relationships between families, not to get caught up in other little shenanigans here and there. The core essence of the thing. So when that first payment should actually be made, given to Maria and the new man, and then they go about and actually start their life on a way that indeed they are able to now, actually both families have said, let us bless you with this, so you guys can actually now have a starting foundation to now begin your lives, because you just are started right now. We as the people who are negotiating this, aka Wazir, we have lived long. So we have the ability to actually bestow you upon this particular money for you to begin, because you guys are probably at zero. Even if you are wealthy, whatever, you're still zero when it comes to relationship. But the obligation is that you must come back to make now residual payments for the sole purpose of what? Continuing bridging the gap in between families. The reason why I say this is, even when it comes to even dowry is a cultural phenomenon, it's something that's actually done by culture, is because now the new dynamics need to be incorporated through the way that we live our lives. Because it's easy for us to get caught up in Nairobi, or even because I was a foreign guy, he goes to Wales and they get it, whatever. But they have to remember, we have an obligation to the family back here, so we have to come back. Even if it's like once a year, even if it's whatever, we have to come back to do what? Build the relations that we have between families. That is how even I've seen it done one time, and I think that's even how one of the best ways to execute dowry in a modern context. Because right now, I will not lie to you, a lot of people are even against dowry itself as a whole.
I would be actually one of them. I'm sorry. This is culture, I get it. And for someone who did the intermarriage thing, I actually broke up with my boyfriend then because of that. Because remember, I am a Kisii and you're a Kikuyu. You're going to pay dowry the Kisii way or the Kikuyu way. You see,
Yeah, that's a very
There
interesting.
is a very good, there is a very different balance there. And you find that intermarriages are encouraged and they are being done, but there's no much education when it comes to those things. There's no much knowledge for that. So it's all the basis of agreement. Customs, you sit down, you agree and all that. But then again, I come to realize one thing. A lot of families have lost their children because of the word dowry. Because you will push this man to the core. And then after you push this man to the core, he loves me, he will marry me, we will go with this man. And let me tell you, you seeing your daughter or this man coming to ever visit, no matter how the occasion, or this man even caring about you as parents, or even when you have issues, hoping this man would help, that will not happen. Because the way you started this union, if it was pressured and if it was out of war, you will find that there will be very much rift. And I came to learn that when we came back, and then we decided we are the ones who are getting married, the two of us. Now, the parents are the ones who should, you know, these things most of the time the parents do not have a say, by the way. Actually, there's an aunt of mine who came and said, Nilimulea, and I've never seen her all my life. Nalinilea. So those that come from all over, they're the ones who come with the demands that you have to sit down and understand one thing. Because understand one thing, the amount you ask for dowry, 10 years from now, might be coins to someone, to people when they get married. Because their finances will grow. They will grow. So you'll find that this small amount you're asking these young people who are going to get married is, you can't even compare with the relationships you can build whereby you will never suffer. They will be there for you all through and through. And that's why when I always say that I advocate for come, we stay sometimes, people throw stones. But when we came to stay, we were trying to navigate our relationship first. Then things happen, I did not go, then we got a child, then now let's come. What do you want for dowry? And Kikuyus don't finish paying dowry, they pay forever. Some cultures, they actually do. So now that's a huge pressure. I would say that dowry should be left for the couple to not break up or ruin the relationships between the two families because of it. Let there be an agreement whereby you are not pressuring that man who is coming for your daughter. And at the same time, no matter how much respect you think dowry brings, don't make it look like I'm selling my daughter to you. Yeah.
See you.
Well, I think you've talked very many things.
CEO is coming with culture.
No, I just want to talk about philosophy of relationships. And the philosophy of marriage is about building relationships. The philosophy of dowry is about how to cement relationships. And the families are very different. By the way, I tell people, if you don't feel like paying dowry, don't pay. That's my policy. If you feel that you want to be married the way you want to hitch with your boyfriend and get, well and good. The problem is that down the line, when your daughters will reach a certain age, and there are things like in Kikuyu land which were not done to you, there will be a problem. You understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But no one, there's no parent who forces someone to pay dowry or families. If you feel like you want to walk out and you don't want to pay dowry, Simon, it is your right. Say, I do not want. There's no one who will force you. But what will force you down the line is now when your kids are grown and now you want to receive dowry. And then you're told, since you did not pay, you cannot receive.
But where are they attached?
Yeah.
No.
They're attached.
They're attached.
Culture and
That's
way
how
of life.
culture is. It's a way of life. So you can say, and you break it and say, me as Maria, me as Simon, I do not want to pay dowry. But when my kids grow up, also,
Yes,
it's a
no.
way
There's
of
no
life. It's a new
receiving.
culture. And you start it, and it's allowed.
Yeah.
But some of us who believe in it, who believe in good relationships between families, and who have a lot of pride as a Nilot man, where we stand with 1,000 cattle to be seen. Remember, it's about pride.
1,000.
Yes,
What is it called?
The Dinkas.
Nyombo.
As we are very proud to deliver to that family so they are seen. That this is a man who has...
1,000.
Yes, people give dowry, my friend. For us, it's not about that cost you're talking about. For us, it's showbiz. And even now, my friend, Bolo Bespoke, is going to marry next month. Do you know how many choppers you are going with?
No.
So it's show off. It's not more
We are
like
going to present, because
Respect.
you're marrying a decent lady, we want to give her a beautiful thing. That's how we see it in our life.
But now this is the point. You go that day, you make a big show, you create a huge
And we are
thing.
by the way,
then they come to your house.
The contribution. No, Maria, you've spoken. So you said you don't like it. And we listen to you. You stick to your lane.
For me, I'm okay with it.
You're okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
And we've said, if you don't want to pay, remember my statements. If you
You
do
can
not
say
want
that.
to pay, stay. But for us, this is where we show people that you are getting married into a good family. We are not going to get married when we are poor. For
Amen.
us.
Say it again. Say
We are
that
not.
again.
We are getting married to deliver to that family, to show them you are getting a decent son-in-law. A son who can deliver, a son who can pay. That is my policy. And that's what we did.
But
No, that's the truth. And then
After
before you
the
say
dowry.
before you say your
after
buts.
the dowry,
There's no
you
after.
also know
Is that
nilots
after?
very
No,
well.
No, but you see, don't say those buts so much, because what will happen is, you see, I'm saying on the man's side of things.
It's my, yeah.
On the man's side of things, even the reason why even I would recognize is I want the parent to actually even see me as someone who's valid.
Yes.
And not only that, your daughter is in safe
It's safe
hands.
hands.
That is the
Safe
key
hands.
thing.
Yeah, and actually it's an issue of provision.
Yeah,
Because
for
I'm
me, I want
seeing,
to
like,
provide.
you know the way, have you ever seen even on Facebook wama wakisema, sisi goat wife tukae side gani? Wajitanga goat wife. So goat wife inamaanishanga mtu mwenye amefanywa
Yeah,
those
they are giving you
cultural
everything.
yombo
Yeah,
or...
it happens. But now let me say something. Now this is a Muzungu man. For real, this Muzungu man, they don't know anything about dowry. Now
That's
he
upon
has
the lady.
come.
I blame her. I blame the lady.
Listen,
Now
this
he
lady,
comes, and then there's everyone who is like, you have to give, you have to give. This Muzungu man will be scared of.
listen, that Mzungu man said he had 10 million. The problem with this relationship, Maria, was not because of not of giving money. It's the greed between the family.
It is
It
the
is
corruption.
not-
It was the
it is
trick.
not
It's corruption.
that the woman refused to give. It's only the daughter, and is how people are raised and all this nonsense. It is an individual a group of people who have the greed. The father wants in his account. But you see, dowry is shared.
Yeah. Even amongst the wazers, the
It's shared. Your father does not get the whole of that money.
It's given to, yes, I understand.
It actually-
I understand, I
yeah.
saw it's given to a lot of people.
Yes.
But I am, okay, I don't know, I'm against that. All of you who came from nowhere, just when I'm getting married, you are coming from.
It's not-
That's
it's-
what I'm
listen.
against.
Maria, it is not in your space
Yeah, that's the
to
point.
decide.
sadly.
It is not in your
If an
space
in-law
to
is coming
decide.
to marry me and is coming with
It's
choppers, I'll
not
decide.
in your space to decide how that money will be distributed.
That is true.
The relationship you have with your father is different relationship than those wazes or those family. You know, they come from the same village. They are village mates. They went to school together.
Yes. But now
They
when
went
They
through-
helped each other.
they
when
went
were
through
growing
rite
up.
of
that's the point.
passage
Understand
together.
something. See, me, I'm not me. What I'm saying is this: I don't understand how a man would come and then be pressured to feed even my dad's classmate. You see, that's what I don't understand.
So
I
that's,
don't
you
feel.
see now the dichotomy is the level of relationships.
That's
too
the key.
much.
And
Like,
but even
I've lived in Nairobi all my
Relax.
life. Why are you coming from Kisii because this dowry?
Listen, for me, if wherever and when we went, we go with many people to be seen that we can deliver.
It's okay for them. They can come with many people
To be
because
seen that
they are
you can
bringing
deliver.
their son.
Yeah, because
They are-
listen,
they are
Simon,
bringing their son.
if you want respect in this
But-
in our setup, you must
Come
My
with
friend.
me.
Yes, I know
Like-
Luo's love show.
The Gen Z say, come correct.
Come correct.
You know Luo is
And
a
we came
nini.
correct this week. We came correct this week with this story of dowry. Hey, we have to wrap it up. Yeah, yo, guys, speaking of Wazir, let me give you a Wazir story here. Those guys that you hate so much because of the dowry. Hey, there was this older guy, keep me acquainted. Older guy, he's in the neighborhood, he's 70. He has a nice car. The kids, they like playing with the car. The parents are like, kids, play with the car. There was them there like, where? Talk about Gary Yangu there. I don't like you playing with my car. So what does he do? He applies some good oil on it. So the kids, they still go play on the car. What happens? Their clothes are messed. You can relate. If the kids' clothes are messed, guess who's paying? Nyinyi. So then now all the parents are like, why? What are you doing this harassment? Before I say my points, speaking of which, are parents nowadays too entitled to other people, other people treating their kids nonsensical behaviors to the extent that even when their kids are even in the wrong, they are first to even defend them rather than recognize that indeed that these kids are playing on an old man's car. That's his car. He has a right to tell you, Toka, and you must go. And the kid, and when you are not as a parent, your first impulse is to say, hey, Johnny, Stacy, do not go to that car. And if they do, they should suffer the consequences. And if your kids don't listen to you, did they even really respect you in the first place? Go ahead.
Did they destroy the car?
The car is not theirs.
Good. So the man was just destroying his own car by putting oil on the car just to punish the children.
And also, no, punish the
No,
parents.
no, let me tell you something. This world right now, we don't have enough playgrounds as it is. Kids must play to be healthy.
Yeah, these are middle-class problems.
No, that's the point. We don't have enough playgrounds.
Go play with rocks.
Kids must, if they play with rocks, that car is in trouble.
It's already old.
That's the point. This is the man was not supposed to put oil. You know what he was supposed to do? Actually, the usual grandpas. You know how grandpas do? Be friendly with the children, and if you are friendly with them, they'll even protect the car for you. But adding oil is more like telling the kids we are playing together. Yeah. That's what they were doing. Even the man was in the game, because in real sense, if the car did not have oil, they came back. Making their clothes dirty was not the way to go on that situation. The situation was, you understand there are no playgrounds, befriend them, even play with them. This man is very bitter, by the way. Me, I stand to the fact that this man is a little bitter because, yes, the car is his, but why would you put oil in your own car just to punish little children? As if you've never been a child and known that play is very important.
Wanja, you agree with this?
Yeah. Well, me, I would say that, kitambo, children were community children. Neighbor wako angekuja akiona mtoto wako ana misbehave anakuchuna. Kitambo tukitembea, even when we see our older relatives, tukua tunashtuka because anaweza kuchuna na anaweza kusema kwa your mom. But these days ni kama parents hawataki mtoto ni wa mama yake, you can't talk to other people's children. So the man solved a local problem with a local solution. Amen. So maybe alieka hiyo oil for a while kwanza as a deterrent, ndio watoto wa wazazi wao. And because when it says that the parents waliuliza mzee mbona anaeka oil, and I think it just shows how parents these days ni kama kui so strict with their kids, because I'm imagining before that huyo mzee alikuwa complain watoto wanaguzanga gari yangu. Kids, even me, I remember when we were young, sijui tulikuwa tuna tu bad crime tendencies. I do remember myself and my other younger friends tukitoa pumzi kwa gari ya neighbor mwingine wetu, just to deflate to bila reason, and our neighbor was so kind. I remember very well. So kids can also be destructive, and get away with it. Wanaweza chukua waandike kitu na jiwe kwa gari yako, and then you have to paint it. Criminal. So because of that, River aliweka oil kwanza kuadita wazazi wao wa complain kidogo, before you know it watakuwa changed behavior. Otherwise angewachuna, but I think it's not allowed.
Parenting is very difficult nowadays because kids are more exposed than before, and the parents themselves are they are too individualistic with their kids, because they do not want to have a responsibility distributed to other people to help them raise them. And that's why we have a big problem with these things. We see many people saying, oh, my kids are disturbing me, wamemea pembe, but you never involved the society to help you correct them when it's important. If you see a car, and probably that guy's car is the only thing he has, I can tell you kids can come in an estate and really destroy your property without even knowing. And the mother does not know, the father does not know. So sometimes people devise, and that's why you've seen parkings where people have even covered their vehicles because of kids, with that kind of, because of that. Because kids come and you start repairing that car, the amount of money you spend is so much. And you cannot even pinpoint whose kid it has done that to your car. So it is important for parents also to tell their kids that this thing, don't go and spoil someone's property. But also allow the society to help you raise your kids. Because if they don't talk to your kids and does not see anything wrong with their kids, you are raising probably someone who you will never control in future.
And just because you can give birth does not mean you're qualified to be a parent.
Do you know nowadays that's what they use? Like if you touch someone's kid, atakukumbusha venye nilibeba miezi 9, as if
And that's why
the olden parents did not carry 9 months.
And that's why they suffer at the end of the day when kids now become something else.
Even in schools, actually, teachers, and I happen to have friends who are teachers, wanasema to do your job and go home. Because the kids are also becoming very hard even to discipline. And remember, this is a teacher who is dealing with like 40 kids. So ni kama
In some school, they are not allowed to beat children.
No,
it's not even about beating. It's
But
about
they
the
don't
overall
want-
discipline.
yes,
But you
they
see, when
don't
you're dealing with
correct
40
anymore.
kids who are all hard-headed, the teacher's job is to teach, not to do the job that you are unable to do at
I
home.
think you bring out, there's a lack of fear from the parents, because I knew my father would do this to me when I get home if he hears about my misbehavior
In
somewhere
school,
else.
yes.
Anywhere else, forget
Yes,
even school,
yes.
even anywhere else. So the lack of an installation of fear and respect to the parent, to the kids, I think there's been a lot of overcorrection from modern parents. What's happening is now they're pushing it in a sense, they're over-glorifying the kid and coddling them because you want to give the kid what you actually
You never had,
Yeah.
So-
But you know another thing is what? I am a millennial raising a child. You are a millennial raising yours. If there's a problem out there, if you come and tell me, I will feel like you're telling me either because you are lying against my child, you're trying to defend your own child. Like we are always feeling like as parents, our children are under attack from anyone who is around
Why?
us. But that's the generation right now. That's how it is.
Why do you feel like that? That's what I'm asking. I'm not saying it's wrong.
No.
Why is this reasoning there?
They say that because you find that.
This is how you reason also?
No, me, I don't reason like that.
Okay. I'm just making
Me,
sure.
actually, I would take it serious when you tell me my child has done something.
Okay.
I would really try and dig deep and see what is
You
happening.
know, many parents don't even understand their kids.
I would really actually tell. If you tell me my child did this, I will actually dig deeper and understand why, what happened, and I will punish a behavior that I know I should be punishing a behavior. I will. Because if this, and that's why I'm saying, this old man would have sat the kids down. Some kids listen. And they will listen from an outsider than... Do you know these kids do not even, their moms are not even present. The only thing their moms came home and found in was ikona oil. This man maybe hajaona mtoto wake for a week because these kids live with their nannies. So nannies don't care about which mistake kids are doing. That's also another thing that we should also be noting.
I guess.
Because the mom may just, the only thing I'll notice ni oil. So instead I find out, why is there oil? What really happened? What will the mom do?
Blame the household.
No, tell your father to stop oiling the car. Not what really happened. Because this house help angalia hata mtoto wako. They are making TikToks in the house. You are there.
Hey, there's house help TikToks. Hey, yo, that's an interesting angle of TikTok.
House talk. You take a house talk. Come on.
Hey, more or less. Hey,
I
guys.
think it has been
Real.
real.
Exactly.
Woo.
See?
Whoa.
We've started from projects. We've come to many other things.
Companionship to now elderly dowry.
Dowry.
And then now elders.
And the kids.
And then we'll see
Dowry
you
is
guys
not
next
good
week.
for me.
We've kept it real. Every week, every time, it's less real. And we will always.
You spin around, you laugh to yourself.
Samantha Wines, now available in all the leading wine stores.